Becca. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
I wanted to jump right in and ask, when did you first start racing?
Well, I went to my first race when I was just 4 weeks old, which was the Chimney Rock Hill Climb in North Carolina. And I've been to countless runoffs. I can't even remember how many, but I didn't actually go to get behind the wheel until I was 16. My parents sent me to a performance handling school. And when I was 18, I started autocrossing.
So you've done autocross and road course racing, right?
Yes, I've done autocross. I did a couple of solo ones, which at the time, I think now they call them time trials. And then I raced Spec Miata for several years.
Which was your favorite?
Definitely Spec Miata. It's a lot of fun.
So I understand you and your husband have your own motorsports team. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Panic Motorsports opened in 2006. And before that, it was just a collection of friends that were autocrossers and workers and club racers. We started getting into club racing. And my husband had always wanted to own his own business. So we took his knowledge from auto parts, because he had only ever worked in auto parts world and had done a little bit of drag racing. And then we took my race car knowledge from sports car racing, put them together, and that's where Panic came about. So we've been open for business since September 2006. We originally started only doing parts, and then we started building Spec Miatas, and we went after the Spec Miata community as a whole because at the time, and still continues to be, they were the largest and fastest growing group in club racing in the US. And it's kind of funny because Mazda, although you don't see too many of them on the street, Mazda has about 90% total of sports car racing as far as like vehicles involved in the US. So it's a huge market. But the Miatas are bulletproof. There's really, unless you do something completely stupid, you're not going to hurt them. I do have a fun time with it. I wish I could race more now with my feet. That's not quite a possibility, but we're working on it.
I gotcha. So when did you first learn that you were diagnosed with CMT, and how has that affected your career?
Yeah, I have a neuromuscular disorder called Charcot-Marie-Tooth. It's a localized muscular dystrophy that affects the nerves. And as the nerves go away, the muscles atrophy, and then that creates deformities in my feet because it pulls on the bones and everything. So my feet are getting smaller over the years, and I've had 12 total surgeries on them. So I use leg braces and crutches and a wheelchair in many occasions when I need to go out, and anytime I have to walk for more than about 10 minutes. So, but I have dealt with it since I was about 12 years old. It's a progressive disorder, so that's the only really crappy part about it, is that it just keeps getting worse. But that being said, the technology is coming up now so that when, if I get stable enough where I can get back on the racetrack, there are things like a duck clutch, which is an electronic clutch that would allow me to race, but then also share the car with my husband or another driver for enduros. So there's some pretty neat things out there right now.
That is amazing, especially that you dealt with it for so long and were still able to race and everything.
I drive my daily car with a manual hand control, and my daughter was teasing me the other day because we were going through traffic and the traffic was really bad. And I was kind of driving rather offensively, I guess would be the term. And my daughter says, all right, they're lead hand instead of lead foot, because I actually do use my hands to drive now. So we thought that was hilarious.
That is funny. So I see your daughter has some of the same passions that you do. Where does she see herself in this industry?
Funny you should ask that. She's not really interested in racing per se as getting behind the wheel. But that being said, she's already in a pre-engineering program. She's in 10th grade. She's looking at going to Governor's School of Math and Science, and we're working on that application right now. But she actually wants to be a race engineer in Formula One. She definitely enjoys being in the pits more than anything else, working on race strategy and calling the shots. So she's very interested in it.
So do you have any other hobbies besides cars?
I'm an artist, so I paint mostly using oils and acrylics, but that pastels, I absolutely love it. I've done that my whole life as well. It can be very hard, but it is very soothing, and it also gives me the opportunity to work on all of our car liveries as well. So I've done all the race car, or most of the race car liveries for the Panic.
So it seems like you were truly born for this industry, and cars are pretty much your life.
Without question. I'm not working anymore. I haven't for about 4 years because of my feet, but it's every day. I'm getting, information from our techs coming in and pictures from the racetrack, and I'm still helping to disseminate that information. But between my daughter wanting to work in Formula One and us owning Panic, it literally is 24/7, and I wouldn't have it any other way. It is my second family.
So I just want to say you've been so inspirational to me overall.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's my goal to just simply be in cars for as long as I can. and that's what
Yeah.
matters.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Kailynn. I appreciate it.